Hi, friends. Happy Wednesday. Thanks for being here. So I made a reel today that kind of summed up what I'm going to talk about today on Watch Out Wednesday, and it's just the constant reminders in my life that people still don't know that they should be concerned about what's in their products. Like, it's just astonishing. So you'll see the clip I did. I filmed in one of your basic drugstores, and I just was cringing as I was doing it and thinking of the thousands of products and the tens of thousands ingredients in all those products, most of which haven't been proven to be safe for human health. And in fact, the complete opposite. Like, we know the science doesn't lie. We know there are so many illnesses, impacts, and even fatalities that ultimately were from using products over time in small doses that add up to big impacts on your health. So you may have seen, if you didn't, I'll have to share that one again too. I'll put it in my stories. But Breast Cancer Prevention Partners, which I do a lot of work in the breast cancer community. They shared a couple little videos last week, and they had young girls sharing about why they don't use personal care products or with certain ingredients in them specifically. And I dug into it a little bit deeper because there's a study that just was published in February of this year showing, talking about personal care product use during puberty and the incident of breast cancer that happens later in life. And they studied, oh my gosh, I can't even remember the exact number, but it was a huge study. And of course, not to my surprise, or probably yours too if you're watching this, that personal care products, mostly focusing on those that contain endocrine disrupting chemicals, may affect breast cancer risk, at some point in their life. And the reminder, as always, just those endocrine disrupting chemicals, the things like phthalates and parabens, are what you want to really pay attention to. Those specific endocrine disrupting chemicals are present in breast tissue. Like, when they biopsy breast tissue of women that have breast cancer, they often find that. It basically alters hormone signaling, mimics hormones, because it has a lot of those same hormonal things in them, and it's just not good. So I guess my question is, like, why? And I'm like, why are so many people still using these products? Why is this still happening? And I think it's just like a lack of knowledge, right? More people need to be saying this. I think a lot of us have always said, oh, everything's fine in moderation, or I've used that my whole life, or my mom and my grandmother used it too and they were fine. Were they though? It's little things, and little, I don't mean to belittle anything. None of it's little, but just like people dealing with hormonal issues, menopause, perimenopause, periods, all the things. Like, I think about this study in particular. It was done on girls ages 10 to 13 during puberty, like when they're developing, when all this is happening. And if you've looked at any of the research, you can see that this is not just a problem in women. Men's sperm count and testosterone is at an all-time low, and it's only going down because they're exposed to so many chemicals too. It's not just a woman's problem. Like, this is men too. I read a study that showed within the next 15 years, like, we think fertility is an issue now, and you may not think it's an issue, but if it hasn't impacted you, you may not, but it is a big issue. And fertility rates are just constantly going down, on top of the sperm count and everything else. Like, it's going to be difficult for people in the next 10 to 15 years to conceive. It is just incredibly impactful. The science doesn't lie, my friends. So I think of that analogy all the time. Like, if you knew food had gone bad in the fridge, like you have a sandwich and you're like, oh, it's spoiled, it's moldy, it's whatever. What are you going to do? You're not going to eat it, right? You're going to throw it away. So why are we not thinking the same thing about our products? There are a lot of safer alternatives out there. I mean, there's no reason not to. So if you didn't know this, congratulations. Now you know. Know better, do better. Share it with friends and loved ones, because I guarantee they don't all know it either, or they haven't made it a priority, I guess, is the big thing. I think until it impacts us directly, sometimes we don't think about it. And sadly, it's not going to come from your healthcare professionals and others like that too. You have to do the work. This is the Wild West. The personal care industry, I've told you a million times, is not regulated well. It is barely regulated, I should say. It's getting better. We've been active in promoting and helping push forward a lot of legislation around this stuff, but it takes time. And in the meantime, like those shelves I showed you, it's all sitting there for the taking, full of just terrible, terrible, terrible ingredients. So know better, do better, share this with those you love. If you want additional information or want the link to the study, just reach out to me and let me know. Thanks for watching. Be well.